Melbourne, Australia, home to laneway restaurants, flat whites, and the toughest bridge ever constructed in the world. I'm Macca, and it's time to break down the absolute fustercluck that was the Melbourne Grand Prix weekend. And calm down, Benny. I said fustercluck.
Just plucked her in first, gave some jam, fuck yeah.
The big guns come out. Don't be a smarty about it, or you're going to win one championship. Centigrade's out. Fuck yeah. Can't start it.
You most likely already know the results, so instead of going through the usual, let's go for every race, I'm going to do things a bit differently. Welcome to the segment called Thrived, Alive, or Dived. Let's get into it. Let's start with 888 Race Engineering. Specifically, Brock Feeney. Absolutely cursed in Sydney, and he must have seen a witch doctor or something, because the dude came out flying. He was fast, aggressive, and let's be honest, he landed more poles than your average OnlyFans influencer. He also committed murder when one of Albert Park's ducks decided to do their best Group B rally roleplay, which, probably ended up cursing him in the next few races. So, overall ranking for Feeney, thrived, but like only just. Will Brown, the Toowoomba Seagull, as I like to call him, is always there, always in the mix, and always scavenging points. He's not flashy, but the results keep coming. Thrived. And on a side note, doesn't Will Brown just look like one of those people that are like old and young at the same time? Like, you can put a school uniform on the guy and he looks like someone who's wagging school to play Pokemon Go. He probably hasn't even got his first pubes yet. Anyway, let's move on. Another thing is Garth Tander and Chad Nailon absolutely nailed the commentary on Thursday, like absolute bloody legends. Like Crompton and Scaife do pretty good in my opinion, but like, you've got Chad Nailon, who's like a big fan of the sport, really passionate, and you can hear it in his voice, a great commentator. And then you've got Garth Tander, who obviously has a fair bit of experience himself. He's done pretty well, and he's also got glasses, so people take him more seriously. Fuck, maybe that's what I need to do. I'll be back. There we go, take him more seriously now. Tickford Racing. After making the field the absolute bitch at Sydney, everyone expected Tickford to bring that same energy. But in reality, their qualifying was absolutely shithouse, and but in the racing, there were weapons, and this isn't anything new. Scott Sinclair talked about it in his show, so go check that out if you want to go into more detail. But Cam Waters, aka the mulleted assassin, qualifying fucked him, but his racing redeemed the weekend, so I'm going to put them down as alive. But what about the kid from the movie Up? Like the fat kid. Like, seriously, like, Pixar, you got some explaining to do, mate. Qualifying was shit, racing wasn't bad, but like, lower than what he should be doing, so die. But, actually seriously though, like Pixar, what the fuck? You have some explaining to do. Matt Stone Racing. Cameron Hill's first win, got on the podium on the Thursday race as well. Like, small team, big weekend. Cameron Hill thrived, but like straight up, like absolute game-changing weekend. Nick Percat played the best wingman in Supercars history, especially that race where Cameron Hill won. Pulled total Big Nick energy to keep those DJR cars behind. Like, Big Nick stopped the dicks. Thrived. Erebus Motorsport. Cooper and LeBrock were a bit like me last night. Fast, but can't finish well. Alive. Walkinshaw and Dreddy United. Mostert was a bit like Ryan Walkinshaw's leg press form. Bit of a half rep effort. Died. That's right, Ryan, I'm calling you out. Anyway. Recently, Wood has been a bit soft on the results, but Wood has really risen and is standing tall. Wood was rock solid. Even if there were a few instances where Wood was went in a bit too deep and caused some damage, Wood that was actually a rough penalty, so guys. But seriously though, Walkinshaw, if you can give him a car like that every weekend, Wood would pound the opposition. You know, Wood would pound Bush, Wood would pound Brown, Wood would pound everyone. Overall thrive, but a slight dive in race 6. But yeah, doing well, Wood. Keep it up. Brad Jones Racing. Brad Jones, it was kind of just there. Like I when I was writing this, I actually forgot about them. I'm sorry, Brad. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. You guys didn't do bad this time, but you know, I believe you can do better. Bryce Forward was probably more like Bryce Halfwood. Yeah, I can't do a better joke than that. I'm sorry. Alive. Andre 3000, yeah, alive. Macaulay Jones is pretty much the same as always, but he got close to the 10, so I'm going to say alive. Evans was there, but, you know, alive. So BJR, alive. Premier Racing. Fast, but, like, honestly, it felt like they were held together with zip ties or something. Like, Golding, speed is there, racing's not, dive. But Stanaway, speed is there, racing is not. Same as same as Golding, but 4th place in the race 7. Macaulay. Really good qualifying effort. And probably robbed of a good chance of a win because, you know, we all know how good Stanaway is in the wet. 4th place starting out. Really good potential. But I'm going to say alive. Could have been a thrive if that last race actually started, but we'll talk about that later. Grove Racing. Well, it's probably the same as BJR to some degree. Like, probably a little bit better, but like, you know, Payne was fast, but he kind of just chilled around the back of the top 10, you know? He needs more aggression, you know? We need to bring in some, like, wrestling thing. He needs to be like, yeah, bring the pain! Alive. And Kai Allen. First race sucked. But his next 2 races are actually pretty good, so I'm going to put him down as alive. Dick Johnson Racing. Bush, yeah. 2nd round for Bush and Dick. And the old Bush and Dick combo. Gotta love it. And yeah, it's looking good. You know, I predict podiums in New Zealand, even maybe a cheeky win. Thrived. Will Davison. Looking like a bit of a rough weekend and for a bit of a steep dive. But he saved it with a cheeky 4th in the last race. So I'm going to put down alive. Team 18. Anton. Seriously, like, just stealthily just trucking along, doing his thing, you know, doing pretty good in the championship. Bit of a quiet achiever, so I'm going to go for thrived. Can't be said the same for his teammate David Reynolds, though. I mean, seriously, man, like, there was nowhere, but I reckon can do a lot better, so I'm going to go for dive. Sorry, mate. Blanchard Racing Team. Aaron Curran decided the best way to start his career is to yeet himself into the turn 3 gravel trap, and you're not the best start, mate, but look, I know it's your first round and stuff, but I should be more gentle, but dived. Total dive. James Courtney. Made a mistake in quali and then BRT winged the repairs and got a cheeky DQ. So next few races were better, but you know, I expect more from you, mate. So I'm going to put you down as alive. Now let's talk about the big plops of the weekend. Plop number 1, wet races. You know, race 4 was looking to be fucking awesome. It was the great ingredients for a spicy race. You know, yeah, the wet track, big names down the grid, young stars wanting a little bit of that winning pipe, and Stanaway, who's usually a bit of a cheat code in these kind of conditions. You know, it was going to be the perfect climax for the Grand Prix weekend. I was getting excited, everyone was pumped up, and then it was called off for being too wet. Supercars pullout game is fucking strong, but like too strong. Like, you've teased me all day, you've got me all warmed up, I'm getting blue balls, and then it was just getting wet and exciting, and you're like, nah, I'm going to bed, mate. Come on, man. But like, in all seriousness though, like, Supercars, you know, the growing trend of race-induced cancellations is really becoming a bit of a buzzkill for fans. You know, it's time to step up. You know, either have a wet tyre that can handle those conditions, or Maybe just have some form of solid gameplay and that it ensures the show goes on. You know, let's not let the weather rain on our parade. Oh, okay, so there was one big social media topic over the weekend, and honestly, like, before I get into it, I need to have a fucking beer. Okay. Let's talk about the social media dumpster fire that was the fucking Beardo, Shane Van Gisbergen, McLaughlin, AHU, Supercars, Barry Ryan saga. I kind of need a better name for that, but like, come on. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about the context and kind of break it down a little bit. So Friday's race, we had Ryan Wood give Jack LeBrock a cheeky little love tip at turn 5, and the stewards decided to give Wood a drive-through penalty, which was pretty fucking harsh. You know, given the looser racing standards this year, and you know, it wasn't a clear-cut penalty. It was something that, you know, probably could have been up for debate. So yeah, really disappointing there. But anyway, and you know, a contentious accident. Why was that even a bad thing? Well, Q Supercars Twitter making a fucking massive meltdown with Scott McLaughlin coming in and saying that's BS, outcome based. Paraphrasing a bit, obviously. Outcome based? I don't get that. You know, like, that's how punishments work. You know, if I went and knocked over a bank, they don't punish me for the technique. They punish me for actually robbing the place. And if he's not outcome based, what does he make him? Does he make him like pre-cum based? You heard it here first, guys. Scott McLaughlin is pre-cum based. Sorry, Scotty. Moving on. Craig Baird decides to drop a different angle, and with the classic enough said. But enough wasn't said. Because then we had Shane Van Gisbergen roll in and chuck an onboard shot with brother. That call was a shocker. And this is where it gets good and a little bit smushy. Turns out that Ryan Wood himself sent that photo to Shane Van Gisbergen, thinking it would be some kind of banter between Jedi Kiwi Council. And instead, Apex Hunters United threw it straight into the public domain. Cue absolute chaos. More likes, shares and comments than the average pit lane punch up. The engagement was so insane, like, it didn't just bake fresh bread. Like, it ended up with a whole fucking bakery. Like, overloaded. Like, seriously, they probably need to give some of this bread to the fucking charity or something. Even the Giga Chad himself, Ryan Walkinshaw, got in on the action. Like, seriously, look at it. Look at it. Why was that bad? Well, posting judicial camera footage is actually illegal in Supercars. And Supercars weren't having any of that shit, and next thing you know, the post vanishes. Supercars pretty much came in and they're all like, take it down or there's gonna be consequences. And then like AHU were probably all like, okay, but I'm pouring sriracha over this bitch, it's gonna get spicy. And they even chucked up a little spicy post saying, if this were reversed, Supercars would release the vision and bury a Timor driver. Oh, there's some seasoning on that bitch. And then just when you thought it was over, Barry Ryan, Supercars' own Regina George, jumps into the LinkedIn because nothing screams professionalism like settling motorsport beef on a corporate networking site. Scholars will be studying that post for years. Was there a point? I don't know, but you know, there's one thing I know for sure. He's a bit like a tradie outside a bakery during smoko. There's some pie on his mind. Now, did Wood actually break any rules? Yes. Did Supercars overreact? Abso-fucking-lutely. Did AHU stir the pot? Like a MasterChef contestant. But here's the deal, like, judicial camera footage is super off limits. Even under Supercars operations manual, it literally says that. So AHU posting it is a bit of a violation, but, you know, and whether it helps clear Wood or not, it's against the rules. You know, honestly, Craig Baird cops way too much shit. Like, the guy could cure cancer, and then someone would still find fucking something to whinge about. Like, I feel sorry for the guy, but you know, bit of a word of advice is, just state your decision clearly and consistently. Kind of go in a bit more detail as to why you made that decision, and maybe the internet won't be such a fucking riot. Now, as for AHU, like, maybe ease off the sriracha a little. But let's be honest, that spice makes for fantastic viewing. So maybe just like put a bit of Kewpie mayo on top of the sriracha just to kind of blend it in a bit, you know? Be a bit gentle. It's coming out the other end at some point. You might as well be gentle, right? So what are our final takeaways from this episode? 888 are too good. Matt Stone Racing's a legends. Big Nick Energy is in the house. Brock Feeney is a duck murderer. Will Brown may not have pubes yet. Scott McLaughlin is a pre-cum man. Pixar has some explaining to do. Next time we have the meanest, most choice as round in New Zealand. And that, my friend, is round 2 of the post-round dump.
Just plucked her first, gave some jam, fuck yeah.
The big guns come out. Don't be a smarty about it. Look, you're going to win one championship. Centigrade's out. Fuck yeah. Can't start it.
This is actually my first time doing this, so like, seriously, if you have any comments, feedback, suggestions, fire away, but like, play nice. I do this for fun. This is just opinion based, so like, if anyone is offended by this, I apologize. I'm just having a joke. I'll see you after 2 paw.